Raise your hand if you have trouble watching found footage horror films. Learn why and find out about some found footage horror films that you will have no trouble watching. Hey, how you doing? It is I, the Terrorific Lady, otherwise known as Brandy, and welcome to Retro Horror School. If you like learning about movies from the 1970s to the 2010s, if you like horror movie reviews and retrospectives, and if you like taking part in horror discussions and learning about horror concepts, click the subscribe button because I put out a new video every Friday at 2 p.m. Central. So I love found footage horror films, but about 95% of them don't love me back. So with found footage horror films, especially with shaky cam, do you find yourself getting headaches or migraines? Do you find yourself feeling queasy? Do you find yourself with your eyes hurting? Do you find that you have to lay down in a dark room after watching a found footage horror film, especially with shaky cam? If yes, congratulations, or not. You're suffering from motion sickness. I know, because I go through the exact same thing. Well, what causes this? Why is it when you sit down to watch a found footage horror movie, especially with shaky cam, you end up feeling like you just rode the 7 seas on a rickety boat? Well, if you remember a little found footage movie called Cloverfield, you'll remember people feeling ill and having to leave the theater in what was called the Cloverfield effect, which is basically motion sickness. WebMD says that motion sickness is caused by your noggin, your brain, receiving conflicting messages from your ears and your eyes. And motion sickness can lead to symptoms such as nausea, vomiting, and sweating. So when watching Cloverfield, you have people obviously sitting in seats in a movie theater when it came out, or they're sitting watching it at home, and their inner ears, which is responsible for our balance, is telling the brain you're stationary, you're seated still, and you're not moving around all crazy. Well, your eyes are getting a different message. They're seeing all the shaky cam going on screen, and your eyes think, wow, we're being jostled around a lot. Well, the messages from your ears and your eyes conflict, and when they get sent to your brain's like, oh, I don't know what's going on. So hence motion sickness and how you feel. So long story short, mixed signals and wires crossing. You're sitting still, but your eyes think you're not, and it sends that message to the brain, and those mixed signals cause motion sickness. Does this mean you have to write off all found footage and never watch it again? Well, the found footage with shaky cam, yeah, you're probably going to have to. But never fear, because I have some suggestions for you for found footage horror movies that do not have shaky cam, will not give you motion sickness, and will not leave you throwing up your lunch afterwards. And since the genre became popular with 1999's The Blair Witch Project, not the first found footage horror film, but that's when it was popularized, you will see all the suggestions of found footage movies from either the 2000s or the 2010s. So here we go. Paranormal Activity. Paranormal Activity came out in 2007 and was a huge hit in movie theaters when it first came out. It's about a young couple who is experiencing supernatural entities in their home, and so they set up video cameras to try to capture evidence of it happening, and then shit goes downhill. So even though this movie is shot on handheld video cameras, for the most part, it is 100% stationary. There's really no jiggling around or shaky cam at all. Unfortunately, you won't be able to find Paranormal Activity streaming anywhere. If you want to watch it, you are going to have to fork over some cash. Apollo 18. Apollo 18 came out in 2011 and deals with a government conspiracy about a lunar mission, Apollo 18, going horribly wrong. And this footage that was found was leaked to the public. This has no shaky cam whatsoever. It is very easy to watch. And if you're a fan of stuff like government conspiracies, I think this movie will be right up your alley. You will find Apollo 18 streaming on YouTube, Tubi, and Peacock for free. The Den. The Den came out in 2013 and is about a young woman who is studying the habits of web chat, webcam users, and she witnesses a murder on screen and becomes the killer's next target. This movie is stationary. You're mainly seeing it from the view of a woman going in chat rooms on a webcam and talking to others. And this movie is a very interesting concept, being that it uses chat rooms. You will find The Den available to stream for free on Tubi. The Taking of Deborah Logan. The Taking of Deborah Logan came out in 2014, and it is about a young woman who is recording Deborah and her daughter Sarah as part of her thesis. Deborah has Alzheimer's, I believe. And as the shooting goes on for this young woman's thesis, it is clear that something has taken a hold of Deborah, something demonic. I thought this was an interesting take on a possession film, possessing someone who already, because of a degenerative brain disease, has no control over themselves anyway. It was very, very fascinating concept. And to do it like the woman is just documenting this all for her thesis. You will find The Taking of Deborah Logan available to stream for free on Tubi. Hell House LLC. Hell House LLC came out in 2015 and is set 5 years after people died at a haunted house attraction. And this documentary crew is looking into what actually happened. So you will see a lot of footage that was shot by both the documentary crew and also the workers of Hell House LLC. And because it's done in a mockumentary found footage style format, it lends so much plausibility to the story, even though it's fiction. You'll be able to find Hell House LLC streaming pretty much anywhere, but my two main go-tos are YouTube and Tubi, and I believe it is on Shudder as well. Savage Land. Savage Land came out in 2015 or 2016, depending on what you read, but it is about a grisly murder of this small town that took place on the border between the United States and Mexico. And the one lone survivor is accused of committing this very heinous act. But because of photographic evidence and pictures that he took, it shows what really happened. So this is an interesting concept in a found footage film, mockumentary style film, to use photographs. I thought that was really, really cool because the photographs are the central basis of the story and the evidence to show what happened. You will find Savage Land available to watch for free on YouTube and Tubi. So there are my suggestions for some found footage horror films that you can watch and feel perfectly easy breezy right after watching them. What are some found footage movies without shaky cam that you would add to my list? Let me know in the comments below. Class is dismissed, everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye.